Good morning, everybody. It's Josh here once again. Spit some shit. Talking today about a couple of sayings that have always bothered me, and I really didn't realize it until I started thinking about it this morning. I made my karma video, and I remembered that old saying that people say whenever something happens that nobody ever said life would be easy. And I think to myself, who is the authority on what's easy? What human has the right to say that things are easy or not easy? It's a very subjective view. Two people given the same circumstances could find completely different opinions on that circumstance. I think the old saying of, that's just life is kind of it's brought us to this state of angst and almost confusion about it, as if life was difficult. It's always been difficult. Whenever something happens to someone that they don't think is right, somebody might say, life's not fair. And that one really gets to me, because I say to myself, who has the right to tell you what life is fair, or what is fair or not fair? What is this fairness based on? Is it based on a balance? If so, what balance? And which extremes make up this fairness? What is fair? And while I was thinking about this is my second attempt at making this video. I got interrupted the first time, so I'm going to try this to focus on this. Is people, when they use the word fair, it's based on this idea that everything should be good for them, or everything should be right. And when you tell an adult that life's not fair, whatever, the person's going to interpret it the way they're going to interpret it. But when you start talking to kids, this is when it becomes an issue. This is something I just really thought about a little while ago. Parents are always telling their kids that, life's not fair, life's not fair. Not bad parents, just parents. It's just something we've all grown up doing. And I think every parent out there at one time or another who has grown children has said, well, life's not fair. Probably not realizing the implications of what a statement like that makes, especially to a younger child. I've said it, and until now I've never really considered it. But who are we to say life's not fair? What is this fairness? By telling a person that life's not fair, you're basically telling them that we are constantly enduring hardships and animosity, and that the balance is outweighed by the negative aspects. Because when you say life's not fair, that means that it's not balanced. See, in my opinion, this is the view we have. These are semantics. Words have so many different meanings. There's no point at picking at particular details about a word, but when someone says that, it makes one feel lesser and lesser in control of themselves, especially with a kid. You tell a kid life's not fair enough times, then they're just going to assume that they're damned and that they have to watch their back. At this point, fear takes over a lot of the time. When we see enough things happen to us that we think are not fair, we grow resistant to the world around us and push back. And when you start pushing back, it's like you're riding the waves in the ocean and you start pushing against the waves. Your hands go right through them. You cannot resist against the ebb and flow of life. So each one of us digs our own little hole, and it gets deeper and deeper till we can't climb out. And the hopes is that we can fill that hole with enough knowledge and awareness and experience to realize that life is fair. Life is as fair as it was ever intended to be. And people will always have problems, issues that we will always face. There's no escape from reality unless you want to end it. Then you might have another reality to face. But if we could set aside all of our preconceived notions about the world, our preconceived ideas about what heaven or what afterlife or the creation of the universe may be, how large the universe is, how small it is, all of the things that we cannot prove or know for sure. We get down to the basics of life, which is what is fair. We have these bodies, these amazing vessels with an essence, a consciousness, And regardless of the details, here we are in this body, and we have to make it work. So when we're trying to attain things beyond our means, often it seems like life isn't fair. If we want to be a multimillionaire and we can't attain it, and see others who have that, we may think that life isn't fair. That's not fairness. That's something completely different. If you look at the world for what it is, and realize that we have all that we need right here. Even a man with very little, barely a shelter and barely food, can survive for a lifetime. But we want more. And this is our loss of spiritual essence, the loss of a connection in a community, not just within a belief system for a God or what you might believe is superior, but each other. We've lost connection with our neighbors. We've lost connection with our own families. And this leads us down a very dark road indeed. I always like to say, hey, do you know your neighbors' names? I know a few of mine, but a lot of the places people live these days, they don't even know their next door neighbor. You wouldn't even know who to ask to watch your place. We can't trust one another, and that's because that's how we view it. It's not that we can't trust each other, it's that we have this view that since life's not fair, that we're going to be cheated, that someone's going to try to wrong us. And I've been wronged many times by people, but I still keep my faith that humanity is going to do the best they can, and I hope that I'm right. In the meantime, I'm going to live in the life that I consider fair, as fair can be. The very fact that we exist is fair enough for me. Peace.